Hello everyone, this is AP Mid and I'll be talking about the mastery pages to start this guide of middle lane. So the basics, mastery pages. I'll start off with offensive tree because this is the most important tree and this is usually the tree you have 21 points in 9 out of 10 cases. So let's start off in the top row. These two masteries speak for themselves, but double-edged sword. That's a mastery I had questioned myself on when I would ever take this, and my answer on that was if you're playing an assassin or if you're dealing more damage than your enemy would in the poking way. For example, if you're playing Ziggs against a shorter range champion, this would be a great mastery because you'd be doing more damage than you'll take if you do it right, which you should. Butcher. Usually you don't take Butcher unless you're going to take Feast, because just this single point isn't really worth it unless you're not that good at CSing. But the Feast mastery though, this is a really good mastery because for one wave you'll get 18 HP and 6 mana in theory if you hit every CS. But you know we're not robots and we won't, so we won't. But it's still a good mastery because it's sustained and this 1 point is probably worth more than anything you can get out of it in any other mastery, at least until here. So that's the reason you'll probably would always take Feast. Well, not always. For example, if you want to take these 2 points, you can skip out on Feast and Butcher as well. These 2 points are really just on champions which auto attack a lot. Well, spell weaving is for champions which auto attack a lot, like Oriana, and then use a spell. So you just go like auto attack, and, or even more, and then you kill W. And of course you have other champions which also have different combos, which I'll probably touch on later when I finish this whole guide. These points speak for themselves. And then dangerous game. A lot of people ask me why I like this mastery that much. Think about it. You're in middle lane and you're playing sort of an kill lane, say assassin versus assassin, which doesn't happen as often anymore. But say you were in this situation where you're playing an ignite versus ignite mid lane, and you're in this situation where you kill the opponent but you're ignited and you're about to die. And this mastery would save you from the death, which basically made it already so that you got a huge lane advantage because 1 kill and you still live in the lane means a lot. And this would also potentially save you in late game team fights, because in the late game if you're close to death and you kill someone, you still get 5% of your missing health and mana, and that's quite a bit in the late game. 5% from 2k health, for example, it's very good. Arcane Blade and these speak for themselves, I would say. Oh, by the way, if you have questions, just post it down in the comments below and I will try to answer them as good as I can. I'll discuss the defensive mastery and utility at once. Usually you take the defensive mastery on, or well, the defensive tree on AD middles, which barely utilize the utility tree. Because the utility tree in general is pretty good, but say you are playing Yasuo, and then you don't really need the movement speed, but the defensive mastery is really good because you're probably gonna get poked a few times, and this will help a lot. But say you were in the situation where you were playing a champion which would work with both utility or defensive, then you should definitely take the utility tree, because if you can get this mastery or this mastery, it's definitely worth it more than if you get this, which is most likely what you'll do if you go 9 in defensive. And another point in utility which I think is really discussable, strength of spirit. How good is this mastery point? Well, let's see. 1 health for 300 max mana, so basically at level 1 you'll have 1 extra health regen, and if you think about it, that's pretty decent for 1 point, because you will get sustain in lane, and that only grows when you get in the late game. Not by much, but if you put this 1 point in here, would that be better? It's 10% more longer duration or pot, so it really depends on how often you will use your pot, but in general, this will be generally better than Alchemist, I'd say. And it's really a personal preference if you want the cookie or not. If you want the cookie, don't take this. Put this point in here, take the cookie. But generally I would go like this. Or you can also swap Summer's Insight to this, which is also a decent trade-off. 3% of your Summer spell for a long duration of your potion.